Well, welcome to the Healing Hour, and we're with you for the next hour. Kory Varlen and Tyhson Banighen to answer all your questions on dowsing, energy healing, help you get out of your way, take back your personal life, stand in your truth, and deliver your awesome gifts to the world. And it's a phone-in show. It's a live talk show. And if you don't phone in, we're going to be talking with ourselves, but you're welcome to join us. It's 1-866-369-7464 or phone in toll free in North America. If you want to phone in internationally, it's by WhatsApp. It's my cell phone, 1-250-803-2480, standing by for your call. And to get the show off and running, I know Kory. Well, welcome, Kory, by the way. Welcome to this heat wave we're in the midst of. Wow, is it hot here? My good God. All right, so, yes. Hi, Valerie Lauren Lacasse. Hello to you too. Phone in and have a chat with us. So you were saying you're not going to do a reading for the week because we need to be present in the present, but that today is an extraordinary day. Is that right? Did I get that right?
Yes, you did, Tyhson. And in your opening address to the world, you were talking about truth. Did I hear you right?
Well, I'm always trying to be truthful, but it's a full-time occupation, right? To let the truth shine through.
Yes. Well, today I'm going to make it easy for all of us because today the moon is transiting not only through the sign of Pisces, which is always open, as we know. Pisces are just amazing people. The energy of Pisces is basically just open to everything, and especially truth. So what we have today is this ability to open to a greater sense of, of self and also to your identity. And identity is something that actually we don't really get from ourselves. We get it from other people. And so I encourage everyone to call in and let us share with you our truth about you.
Yeah, let us shine our light on your light and light you up.
Yes.
Yeah. So we're standing by toll free in North America, 1-866-369-7464. So yeah, we're in the midst of a heat wave. The vegetables love it. Those that don't like a lot of heat, and those that don't are a bit wilted, although Michael has created shade for those lovely vegetables that wither in the sun. Yeah, hot, 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 and hot. I guess it's even harder where you are, right?
Well, actually, believe it or not, I used to live in Vancouver, and it's actually hotter in Vancouver than it is here in Edmonton. Can you believe that?
All right, that is unbelievable, right?
Exactly. I know. And that little town in BC called Lytton just broke up the all Canadian heat temperature record yesterday. 40, I think it was 46 degrees Celsius.
Yeah, what is that in Fahrenheit, I wonder?
I don't know. It's over 120.
Yeah, I know somebody was saying in the States was saying, well, what's the temperature? And I had to go convert. So I know that we're going to be hitting 108 today in Fahrenheit. So
yeah, it's pretty wicked. I remember when I was in Greece about a decade ago, and the pavement was melting. It was 44 degrees Celsius in downtown Athens, and the pavement was melting, Tyhson.
wow. Well, I have to say that there's really nothing compared to being in Indonesia and in Jakarta, where you literally have to have 3 showers a day just to survive. And it's not so much the heat, it's the humidity that just knocks flat on your butt, right?
Yeah.
And Pakistan was the same. It's just overwhelming, heat with the humidity. Yeah, so shower, and more showers.
Well, I used to live in South America. I think I told you that. I lived there for 10 years.
Yeah, so what was it like there?
Well, I lived up in the Andes. I lived in the capital city of Ecuador. I lived in Quito. And Quito is just beautiful because it's like springtime weather because you're up 10,000 feet, like 3,000 meters. So it's like living in Switzerland. But when you want to go to the ocean, when you want to get down to the Pacific, you descend 3,000 feet. And my God, the humidity is something. But I have to tell you, I have clients in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and the humidity in Baton Rouge, Louisiana was worse than the ocean of Ecuador.
Yeah, well, I think it's karma myself, but that's a whole different question. I do know that we in Earth Wisdom Geomancy course, we have a person attending from Quito, from the capital, and he's learning how to do sacred geometry in the landscape. Actually, we're reactivating the whole Inca Trail and clearing up all the trauma along the trail. Is one of the
Lovely. Oh, it's so needed there, especially after what the Chevron and the big oil companies have done to that country.
Oh, that's absolutely criminal.
Yeah.
Absolutely criminal.
Yeah.
I know when I was at the, oops, here we go. We got the first phone in from Mexico. Hello, welcome to the Healing Hour. You're pulling in from Mexico. Did you know you're on the Healing Hour, or are you trying to talk to Tyhson? Oh, they're gone. I think that's a client from Mexico who's trying to get hold of me, and I'm trying to get her to book in to have a session. And he's going through exactly what many, many people are going through right now. And that is she needs an exorcism of possession. Everything means is that with earth raising and energetics, all those earthbound spirits that have been trapped are being freed from their bondage, and they're looking for light beings or beings that they can inhabit, because they don't know that they're just incarnate or don't have a body, and they don't understand, or they have fear going back to the light or to the other side, because they may have been bad, rotten, and wrong in this lifetime, or been part of the Spanish conquistadors, like we were talking about on that, on that, Inca Trail, or they could have been one of the warring, tribes that were fighting each other along that. So there's many, many places on the planet that have so much trapped energy like that. Like Herzegovina is another area where it just gets passed on from generation to generation. Palestine, Israel's another one. Right. And so it takes generations and generations of trauma piled on top of each other. It needs to be cleared so that at least those that are born there have a chance of being able to deal with their own karma rather than the karma and lineage of their ancestors. Anyway, that's part of what I do. All right, just got a little thing from my accountant saying, need your property taxes and mortgage insurance and house insurance. Oh my God, it keeps on going, right? I need, the government wants so much information. Anyway, yeah. I like the way they give you money and then they tax you for the money they gave you. Very, very good.
Yes, they giveth and they taketh.
Welcome to the Healing Hour. And who are we talking to? Valerie. Valerie. Well, hello, Valerie. How are you? Guess you're okay. Well, that's not, no, let's move beyond guessing. Either you're okay or not okay. Turn off your background noise because we're getting an echo. We're hearing ourselves twice, and once is bad enough. Yeah, there you are. That's a little bit better. So would you have a question? Do you want a clearing? What's up?
Yes, I'm not sure. I sort of sense there's some energy in my body and I don't know what the heck it is.
All right, energy in your body and you don't know what the heck it is. Have you, do you know what your moon rising is? Do you ever figure that out?
I haven't figured that out. I would like to figure it out. I don't know how to figure it out. I don't know the time all I know it was close to lunchtime and my mother is not around for me to ask her.
Well, it's 111 here, so I like the numbers all lining up here.
So just give me your birthday, Val, and I'll tell you the phase of the moon that you were born under. That's extremely helpful to know. What's your birthday?
It's in part because this is a reoccurring whatever for you, Valerie. So it'd be nice to see what that pattern might be.
Well, how can I find that out? I don't know what time I was born.
Well, we don't care. What day were you born?
The 18th of August. It was a Wednesday, I think.
18th of August, and where?
1948.
1948, and where?
Kingston, Jamaica.
What was that?
Jamaica,
Kingston? Kingston, Jamaica, right? You got a real buzz echo going on, but I think you said...
I'm not not there, so I moved away from the computer.
Wow. It may be your high energy. I don't know. But you just say Kingston, Jamaica?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. And what if you knew what your time was? What would it be?
Around lunchtime.
Around lunchtime. Okay.
Right. Okay. So Val, you were born on the 18th of August, 1948, correct?
Yes.
All right, my dear, you were born just before the full moon.
Ah. Did you hear that, Val?
Yes. Yes.
All right. Okay.
So what that means, Val, is that every time we have a full moon, which we just had, it lights you up.
So that's probably where this new energy is coming from, that you think, oh, something may be different.
No, no, I've been noticing this before that.
All right. Okay. And what have you been noticing before that?
Well, it's just like something is moving in different areas of my body.
Ah. Wow. Have you felt that before?
No, it's in the last, I guess, several months.
Right. Are you still doing the deep clearing protocol?
To be honest, I've sort of slackened off that.
Well, I think it's time to do it again. It's sort of like time to have another shower, right? Another spiritual shower. I think that
But I
will
just
happen.
wonder what that is all about.
Well, we don't care what it is. That's the nice thing about doing the deep clearing. We don't care who's showing up in your field. We just don't want them there anymore, right?
Yes.
So I suggest you do the deep clearing protocol. Let me just see what's going on from my end of it when I look at it energetically. Let me just see.
And then I want to ask her a question.
You ask her a question, and I'll do what I'm doing. Ask her.
Okay. What's a good? You told me before. What's the best time to, purchase like lottery tickets? What's the lucky period? Tickets or scratch tickets?
Well, all I can say about that is scratch tickets and lottery wins are totally dependent on your karma. They have nothing to do with astrological timing that I can figure out. Some people are just lucky and some people are not. And I have researched this. I have researched this for decades, Val. And some people just, you might as well just put your money in a special little,
Couple days after. That's what I was asking. I don't remember what.
Oh, you were asking about the power time that you have a few days between before the moon and after the moon when it's the strongest. That's what you're asking, Kory, right? Not lucky, not lucky numbers for.
No, I'm not. I don't expect her to give me lucky numbers.
Okay.
I was.
Okay. So Val, are you listening?
Val, are you listening?
Go
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Now, because you were born just before the full moon, when that full moon cycle returns every month, that is the best time for you to exercise your authority and your agency in the world. So what you want to do every month is find when the full moon occurs. And then you get the day before the full moon and you get the day after the full moon. So you have 3 power days every lunar cycle. And that, my dear, is the best thing that I can tell anybody. When people book sessions with me, that's one of the first things I tell them is their power cycle. And we all have one. So that's yours.
Well, I guess I better get tuned into my power cycle again because I can't remember what it is. And it's important because if you want to manifest something in your world, that's the best time to do it. Is that right, Kory?
Well, what I've just found is that you just have agency when you come into that same phase cycle. You have a resonance with, the cosmos because you were born in that cycle, and that cycle, lucky for us, it repeats every month because it's based on the new and the lunar cycle we all live under, which is a 29.5-day cycle. And so when you come under your sun moon phase every month, you just usually feel fantastic. And I always tell people, you go out with your friends and let's say, everybody 7, 8 of them want to go one place and only you want to go to your special place. And you usually end up being able to negotiate and convince everybody to go to your special place. So it's a very powerful tool, very underestimated. And a lot of people, well, the simplest things, Tyhson, they work.
Right, absolutely.
Okay, I will, because for some strange reason I thought you said the new moon, and now you're telling me the full.
Right. All right, so you got that? Okay, we got another caller coming in. So
Okay,
Valerie,
thank you.
please start doing the deep clearing protocol. And if you've done it enough time, use the short clearing
Okay,
and get to work.
okay.
All right, bye for
All
now.
right, thanks. Yeah, bye.
Do you know, Tyson, just before we take the next call, what I'd like to do is make sure that the people that call in actually confirm what I'm telling them, because this last lady didn't seem to understand what I was saying to her.
All right, we will
So
do
I
that.
need people to confirm back to me what I've just told them so that they can be sure they've got it clear, because that's the nature of the beast. You know, it's like telephone tag. It's amazing. People seem to not be able to hear very well these days.
What? So Kimberly, did you hear all that?
I heard what she was saying, but I haven't been listening. I just called in, so I don't know what she's talking about.
All right, what are you talking about, Kory?
What I'm talking about is finding people their power cycle every month. And as an astrologer, that's one of the gifts that I give my clients, regardless of anything else they ask me. There's 3 days every 29 and a half days, because that's the lunar cycle, in which you have power, you have agency, and I can tell you what those dates are.
Great.
All right, you want to know, Kimberly?
Sure. Love to.
All right. So we need when you were born?
What's your birthday, Kim?
My birthday is July 9th, 1970.
July the 9th, 1970. Do you know the time of your birth?
I do. 1:32 in the morning.
Lovely. Actually, I have a client born exactly at that time in Stockholm, 1:32 in the morning. Where were you born?
Sure, Nevada, SCHURZ, Nevada.
Spell that again. Sorry.
Kimberly, spell it again. Was it SHUR? SCHURV? Is that right?
SCHURZ, as in zebra.
Oh, Z as in zebra.
All right.
I've never heard of that town.
Yes, it's very small reservation.
Now, if I can't find, oh yes, it did come up. I've got it on my Atlas computer. Okay, let's just see what we've got here, Kip. My computer is calculating your birth chart. It seems to be taking a while to do this.
And the whole enchilada, eh?
Oh, why is it doing this? Okay, let me just pop this in again.
She's a pretty powerful lady, and so that's probably why.
That was July the 9th, 1970. 1970 at 1:32 in the morning. Okay, let's just, you know, it's so hot here. I think my computer is going into meltdown mode.
Michael's was doing it to come inside, right?
Oh, hang on a second here. Oh, all right. I'm going to try another program because this one, good thing I've got a couple of backup systems here. All right. So where do you live now, Kim?
That's where I live.
That's where
I was born.
All right, so I'm putting the information in again, 3 times lucky. So 9th of July, 1970, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, 1:32 in the morning. All right, third time lucky. So Kim, have you ever had your chart done by an astrologer?
I have.
Lovely. So you know that you're a Cancerian, and your birthday is coming up, which I hope you celebrate. You have a moon in Virgo, my dear.
Yes.
Yes, and the angle between the sun and the moon is about 63 degrees, which means you're born in what we call the crescent phase of the moon. So anytime after the first, I'd say 4 days. So you want to find the new moon every month, and then you want to count, let's see here. Yeah, you want to count 4 days, and then you have the fourth, fifth, and sixth day after the new moon every month to enjoy. So please repeat that back to me so I know you got it.
Fourth, fifth, and sixth day after the new moon.
Perfect. Those are your power days for the rest of your life.
Oh, wow. Thank you.
You're welcome.
After the new moon. Okay.
Yeah, that's your cycle for energy and for just feeling, feeling like you're at home. You're at home with yourself and everything that you do.
When all that money rolls in, you can take another course with me.
Okay.
All right.
And Kim, can I tell you one other quick thing
Sorry?
that I noticed about your chart?
He wants to say something quick about your chart.
Oh, okay.
You have an amazing capacity for transformation. Do you know that?
I think so.
Yeah, you were born under a particular pattern that gives incredible transformative ability. It means that your life is constantly recycling, So and that has nothing to do with the fact that you're a Cancerian. It has the fact that your moon is very highly, highly aspected, and it gives a lot of turnover. So you're someone that just is here to probably see everything in life, the good and the bad.
Yeah, she's pretty good at moving through things through and coming to another level. So.
Oh, so you know this lady, Tyhson?
I do know this lady, yes, and she's done a lot of deep work.
And that fits her, what I've just said?
Yeah, did the deep clearing protocol and took herself out of, well, I won't say because it's private, but took herself out of some pretty yucky situation and is back being able to do things like sun dances and things like that, right? So ceremonial.
Kim, you have amazing vitality. I hope you are exercising regularly and you're getting out in nature because you have a lot of power, my dear, a lot of power.
Great. Yeah, I'm finding out that I have to get back to nature to feel rejuvenated. Yeah, get to do it as often as possible.
Cool.
We can hear you. Well, that's great. And all the love to you, and keep up the good work. And you know how to find us. And we're here every Monday, same time, same place. If you've got any questions or clearing. And of course, love to have you back and do another high-level course with you, because you get the work done, which I love. That's what I love about clients like you. You do the work, get the results.
Great.
And this lady knows what it means to work, Tyhson. I can see from her chart. This lady is no stranger to work.
No, and she knows how to do it. Well, that's enough patting on their back for you. We love you. You're awesome. Go make the world better.
Thank you.
All right. Bye for now.
Bye-bye. This is why I love doing call-in shows, Tyhson, because I just love being able to give people like you do, just kind of zap people with a sense of their own, identity, because, it's like Dr. Jordan Peterson says, it's like, people are just starving for encouragement, and it just takes so little to give people that extra little boost, and that's what I was saying earlier about identity. Like, we don't know, a lot of us don't know who we really are, but we get that from, the people that we hang out with. And so that's why it's so important who you hang out with, because it can totally skew your sense of who you are.
Yeah, absolutely. It's that feedback loop. And, if you don't know who you are and you're open and empathic and don't know how to be grounded in your lower chakras or connected to Mother Earth, however you want to define that, or fully embodied in your body, and other beings can inhabit your body. And then it gets really confusing. Who's in the driver's seat in this moment? And of course, if you mix in any drugs or any ceremonial stuff in that, like ayahuasca or anything like that, then it even adds a lot more to the soup.
Absolutely, absolutely. And you couldn't be speaking my mind right now, because as I said earlier, the moon's in Pisces, and the moon in Pisces attracts everything, like lo bueno y lo malo. It's like the best and the worst. And so many Pisceans go down, both roads, and they do it simultaneously. I've seen it. I've seen some we've seen some very evolved people out there. There's lots of gurus out there that have led people down some pretty strange, weird, and wicked pathways.
Yeah, and you can get yourself as a Piscean down these weird and wonderful pathways too, and then helping you find your way back into the light can be a bit difficult. But I have to say, I'm so excited when people like Valerie do the work and do get the results, because being part of the ceremonial team and doing what she's doing, she's going to inspire many, many others, right? And it's all
right.
happened. I mean, she's already referred to. That's from Valerie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I love hearing people's stories of chaos, because it's so true. It's like, how can you appreciate the glory of the sun unless you've been through some of the darkest, dark times of the night? And in terms of our soul growth, the chaos and the confusion that we find ourselves in is just a portal, to opening up new pathways, and especially pathways of light. So don't ever underestimate the challenge and the pain you're going through, and the value of that is so important.
Yes, absolutely. And if you are dealing with possession and all those yucky things that they have strange words for, entities and all the rest, and when it all is said and done, you're going to realize that they were your greatest teachers, right? And that not only that, on the soul level, you called them in because you needed to do a spiritual upgrade. So yes,
Absolutely.
It's very difficult to go through it, and it's like hell. It's like it's like walking through the valley of death, right? It's not fun, but it's necessary, right? Even Christ went through this, testing.
Absolutely. Do you know the most interesting people on the planet are the ones that have had the most, twisted and painful journeys. I would take anybody who's had a past like that over someone that was born with a silver spoon any day.
Right, absolutely. Absolutely. And those that are born with a silver spoon, they doubt themselves about whether their own worth, because it was given to them. So they're not sure what they can or can't do, or what their self-worth is, because they received everything on a silver platter. So yeah, it may be difficult that you're out there, fighting dragons and slaying this and that, and and you're getting tired with your swords and your helmets and everything. And at some point you'll get to be able to hang that all up on the wall and not have to do that anymore. But in the meantime, go for it and learn what you need to learn, and slay the dragon, because it's inside of yourself. All right. Valerie Lawrence says, confusion was told the new moon photo was written, but now it is the full moon, so not sure what it is for the most empowering time to take action. Can you see the chat? All right. So Valerie is confused about the new moon and the power days for her. She was the first person you talked to.
Right. Okay, well, as I recall, she's born under the full moon. So what I said to her was that, first of all, for everyone listening, I'm giving information. So there's something called the new moon cycle. It happens every 29 and a half days for all of us, right? We all know about this. She was born at the full moon, which means she finds the new moon on her calendar, or she can find the full moon on her calendar, and she has to count back one day from the full moon, and then she counts one day forward from the full moon. So there's 3 days there that are her power days. So can you repeat that, Tyhson, so she hears it?
Yeah. So you were born with the moon, full moon, and so you calculate on your calendar when the full moon is, and your power day is the full moon, the day before and the day after. So those
exactly
are the days of the power cycle for you to really show up in the world and be awesome, and also with gratitude be able to receive what you're due. Is that a fair way
Perfect.
to describe it?
Perfect, Tyson. Couldn't have said it better.
Yeah, so this is really important that you understand this. You know, we get caught up in our yearly cycle, and yes, there's power days in your yearly cycle. For me, it's actually the month before the month I was born and the month after, which for me is the synthesis that occurs for that year. So it doesn't mean whether I've been doing it through intuition or I've been reading intellectually, all that, even if they seem to be two different worlds, all of a sudden in those 3 months all come together into oneness. So it's an exciting period of time for me. I'm born in October, so that September, it starts October, and then November, actually it goes right into up to December, and all it comes together, which was good because academically I needed that because that's when I had to write my finals, right? So it was good that there was synthesis occurring,
Yeah.
write it. So
You know, for many people, the month before their birthday is the most difficult
wow.
because
Well,
their solar cycle, right? The yearly solar cycle. Ugh, motorcycle madness out here. So the yearly cycle is also very important. There's a Japanese scientist who has done research on blood work and how your blood work almost totally changes on your birthday. It's incredible. And what I have found, the month before most people's birthdays is the most difficult because you're coming to that solar cycle ending. So you've lived through 11 months and you've got one more month to go. And actually, it's amazing how many people die like in the last 1 to 2 months before the sun returns to its.
I mean, how many die when they're like 10 days away from their 100th birthday or 5 days away from their birthday? I never thought of that, so thank you. But what about the fact that I'm having synthesis occurring on the month of my birthday or the month after, or actually October, November, and actually for 2 months afterwards? Do you know anything about that? Does that sound familiar to you?
Well, it sounds like you're saying a couple of things there. It sounds like you're talking about the month before as well as a couple of months after.
Before is difficult, okay, so maybe it is. But what about the months after?
Well, that's the renewal cycle, right? When you are born, like I'm born in May, so my renewal cycle starts on my birthday in May. And May for me is always a wonderful time because I'm being renewed. And and come come April, often that's the worst time I find every year for me.
Right.
Even though it's spring and you think you'd be like full of enthusiasm and joy, but yeah, I've seen this in hundreds and hundreds of research cases where people die or they get very clinically depressed or they just feel shitty in the month before their birthday. So I just encourage people to hang in there and make sure they're taking lots of vitamin D if they live in Canada.
Yeah, and if you're listening to the show and you have an experience of that happening, come back and let us know, either by making a comment in the show underneath the show, or come on live 1-866-369-7464 and tell us that that's what's happening with you. And I'm curious, does other people have that sort of that power month after their birthday, like I'm talking about, where we have synthesis? Am I the only guy on the planet that has that synthesis, or do you have that experience yourself where it's like being born anew, or everything that you were working on all comes together in oneness? So we have Valerie here. She wants me to do a deep clearing or short clearing for everybody, so I will do that. So all those listening on the show now or later to the podcast or wherever you're picking up the show, it goes like this: spinning your pendulum counterclockwise, follow along and state your name. I, Tyhson, Banighen, in my I am presence, clear any and all intrusions into my energy field from any and all sources, known or unknown. I undertake this clearing throughout the multidimensional levels of reality, throughout all time, space, and dimensions, and through my matriarchal, patriarchal, soul family, star family, and family of origin lineages. And I clear myself with the assistance of my light team, and I declare it so in my holy name, so be it. It is done. Thank you. So that's the short clearing. And the longer clearing, called the deep clearing protocol, you'll see that in the show notes. You'll also see it probably on your screen. The link for that, it's all $25. It's going to take you 64 statements to say over 21 days to clear your bioenergy field, your chakras, and your meridians, so you can take your life back, so that you can be a powerhouse unto yourself, so that you can be the light unto the world. And when you do that for 21 days, it's sort of like you're condensing down the ability to do that to get to the short clearing, which I just did, which allows you to clear any and anything that's showing up in your field that needs to be done. And then after you do that for a long period of time, you can just, when you feel uneasy, say clear, hold your hand over your heart, and bingo, you feel a lot better. Or take a deep breath while you're doing that. So these are just programming that you do. It's like dowsing. You know, when you start doing your dowsing protocol, it's long. When I dowse, I only want my answer from my higher self connected to source. I want to be working with my light team. When my pendulum moves like this, it's a yes. When my pendulum moves like that, it's a no, and on and on and on and on. And after a while, you just say, I now activate my pendulum protocol, which then puts all that in place. It's the same with the deep clearing protocol. Once you've done it, you can use the short form, which enacts the full clearing of the 64 statements. It's just that you've done it and moved it from your conscious mind into your subconscious mind, so it runs automatically. So that was a lot of words, but there you are. That's why the short form works. All right, we're standing by for your call. You receive a clearing, or we'll find out when your magical 3 power days are in your cycle, according to the moon. Come and give us a call, 1-866-369-7464. Well, that was fun. I wonder if anybody else is going to show up. So, yeah, so that means I can't remember. I know I should, here you are as a co-host of the show, and I can't even remember what mine is. So, I guess I better relearn that. So, can you maybe do that for me right here live on the show in front of everybody?
Of course I can. Let me just look you up, Tyhson. I may just have you. I may just have you in my system. Hang on a second here. Because I've got a number of programs.
A number of difficult clients that you kept records of.
Programs running. Anyways, yeah, let's put you in. All right.
I'm in there, but that's all right.
We are we're putting you in again, Tyhson. So give me your birthday.
October the 12th, 1945.
October the 12th, 1945. A war baby.
Yes, a war baby.
And what time were you born, my dear?
I think 11:30 a.m.
No, we don't do I think. Do you know for sure?
Oh, that's what I've been told, so that's what I go with.
So 11:30 in the morning?
Yes.
Okay. So who told you that? Mom?
Mom, yeah.
Okay. And where were you born, Tyhson?
Toronto.
T.O. Toronto.
East side. Wow.
I lived in Toronto for 3.5 years. I was so glad to get out of there.
Well, I was born there, but I would never admit it.
Like, in the winter when that cold air comes over those Great Lakes, oh my Lord.
I think it's the hot summers and that sticky hotness, and you can't even put a sheet over you because it just sticks to your body. That's what I remember.
Yeah, I found the same thing, the extremes, the summer heat, the humidity, and then the winter cold. I mean, the wind just cuts, it just seems like it's cutting right into your face.
Well, again, it's karma as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah. So Tyhson, you were born in what's called the first quarter phase of the moon. You were born 6 days after the new moon. So as you know, you are you're a luscious Libran, and your moon is in the very last degree of Sagittarius. Your moon is at 29 degrees of Sagittarius, and your sun degree is 18 Libra. So you were born in the first phase as the moon is getting stronger. So you're born what we call in the crescent phase of the new moon, which occurs 6 days after the new moon. So your power days start on the 5th day after the new moon begins, right? So you have the 5th, the 6th, and the 7th day after the new moon every month.
All right.
Okay, so tell me you got it. Let me hear what.
All right, so it's the 5th day after the new moon, and it's the 5th, 6th, and 7th, which are the power days.
Yes, and so you need to put that in your diary or write that on a calendar because that's your cycle for life.
All right,
so that's when you want to go and show the world what a cool cat you are.
All right. So what about this? You said the last degree of Sagittarius. So does that mean I'm peeking into the next sign, or what does that mean?
No, it just tells me exactly where the moon is. I mean, astrology is an exact science.
Right.
So we know there are 30 degrees to every sign, and your moon was at the 29th degree of the sign of Sagittarius.
I
So
see that.
technically, if we have to say, where is your moon? We know where your moon is. Your moon's at 29 degrees of Sagittarius.
And you said that my Libra was at 18 degrees or something.
Yes, and your sun degree, as the sun is moving through the sign of Libra, which usually starts around September 22nd on the fall equinox. It moves along 1 degree per day. There's 30 degrees to every sign. So your sun degree is at 18 degrees of Libra. It's interesting. Your sun degree is at 18 degrees of Libra, 59 minutes. So it was just about to tick over into the 19th degree.
Oh. I don't know what that means, but anyway.
I just find stuff like this really, I find it all fascinating. So you were born in what we call the first moon of fall. So you're the first moon of the harvest moon of the fall. Lovely.
It's a harvest moon, isn't it?
Well, it would be going into the harvest moon. So when we have the full moon,
yeah, that would be the full,
which would come after your birth.
That would be the harvest.
Yeah, so the full moon would be happening about 9 days after you were born. There would have been a full moon.
Right, got it.
Cool.
Wow, nice.
There you are, my friend.
Thank you, thank you. So what have you learned about your power diets? What sort of things, like when it comes around and it's in your calendar, what sort of the things do you do? Like, do you do any little ceremony or any little attunement or meditation or anything like that?
Well, I've integrated it so well into my life. It's all, unconscious now, right? It's like learning how to ride a bike. Who thinks about it anymore? I just, it's just a part of me. I've just done it for so many decades. You know how things are when you really know something, you integrate it so well that you don't even.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about, the deep protocol, same thing. So, so have you created the whole moon cycle and all the different stages in the moon from planting the seed all the way through to harvest? Is that sort of second nature to you, or?
Yes, it is. When I do someone's astrological chart, I can see their power cycle. And then as that chart progresses, there's different techniques astrologers use to show how a person is evolving. I think I mentioned this to some of your staff about how the chart moves and progress it. And that shows what you're doing with what you were born with. Many people don't even tap. It's so sad. There's so many people that don't even tap their gifts and their resources. And so when they finally get to me, it's quite a joy to be able to tell people, like, this is what you were given. Look at these gifts you've got, and then just to show people how what you can do in the time period that you've got. That's why I really don't like to go too far into the future when I discuss my clients' lives, because they it's just enough to deal with, like, the next week, right? Never mind the next 10 years.
Absolutely. And it's all subject to change if you get the important lesson done now. So how do you deal with the whole thing about, people say predestined, when you incarnated, you already had your soul agenda. So, you can't get it wrong no matter what you do, but you can make it more difficult. So how does that fit in with astrology? Like predestined, destination, and free will. How does that all fit?
Sure, cool. Well, first of all, one of my favorite doctors who passed away about a decade ago was a pediatrician. And he told me that when he delivered babies, he could feel their personalities. He said it was right there at the birth. He said it never failed. He could feel that child's, not just energy, because he was a really cool doctor, but he could feel their personality. And as they aged, they just grew into their personality. And so, of course, that's what astrology is all about. We come in, we are not empty slates, Tyhson. We come in with a full protocol.
Yeah, and I think that's important to note. I mean, in mystical traditions, it really is clear that the soul comes into the body with the first breath. So it doesn't surprise me that the doctor's there with that first breath and actually encouraging that first breath. and here the soul comes in and he gets to feel it as it enters the body. The cool thing about this is, as a dowser, is that many people don't incarnate fully. Like there's something that happens, like they probably made the agenda on the other level about, oh, I'm going to incarnate and do this and do that and everything, and then they make the descent into the body, right? And then all of a sudden they have the whole flash of what their whole lifetime is all about, and they tend to put their brakes on and don't fully incarnate. So I've had to. One of the more exciting ones is I got to rebirth them, right in the middle of a hotel hallway, right? We put her down and we did the whole rebirthing of herself from herself so that she could enter into the world as a fully embodied human being, because she wasn't really totally here.
That sounds like quite an experience for both of you.
Yeah, it was. I was a midwife in a hotel hallway, right?
Wow, that's something you could put on your CV.
Yeah, nobody would believe that. So being a death doula at one end and a birth doula at the other.
Well, I like to tell people, I'm going to show you the card for the day. I have these wonderful astral inspiration cards, right?
Yeah.
So can you see this card for today?
Yeah.
See what it says?
What does it say? Does it outers?
Outlier.
Outlier? Okay, outlier, yeah.
An outlier.
When things don't fit, you're onto something extra special.
That's right.
A lot of things don't fit, so it must be pretty amazing.
And so this is the cosmic algorithm for today. And so I just felt drawn to pull this card to show you as you were speaking about your hotel hallway healing. That's interesting. Hotel hallway healing. 3 H's on that one. So today there is something very special about anyone that's listening to the show and about our lives and anyone's connecting on our vibration, because today is a day to celebrate all of the outliers, the people that are different, and to know that we are all extra special. And that's no sticking your nose up in the air bullshit statement. That's just a statement of fact that we are unique individuals and we all came here to do something, or we would not be here.
Yeah, let me put a plug in for my program. Actually, it's not a new program, but it's a rework. So let's say it's a new version of an old program, which is, it's called the Empath Success Formula. So if you're an empath, an outlier, and not a liar, but the really thing that's important to know is you're not here to fit in. Stop trying to fit in.
Right.
You're here to change the world. So if anything I'm saying to you, or what Kory saying to you, makes any sense and rings a bell, then this program is for you. Come and join this program and find out what are the divine gifts flowing through you. What happens when you're in your way, what recurring patterns show up, how to get out of your way and get back into the zone with ease and grace, how to live in the zone and remove any trauma, core fractures, toxic emotions that are in the way. So how then, and with your reading, your soul reading, or your astrological reading, you know what this incarnation is all about. So why not know why you're here, right?
Exactly. And Tyhson, I wanted to say something for both of us, because what we're doing is a public service right now, and I love going on media. I've been on probably over 100 shows in my life between TV and radio all over the world. And I'm very happy to give away information for free. However, I do want to tell people something, and I'm sure you know this. When you pay attention.
Absolutely.
And people need to know this, that yes, we're very happy to give of our gifts and share our time and energy, but truly don't be afraid to make an investment in yourself. And what Tyhson is doing and what I'm doing is a form of healing that has taken us decades to perfect. And I'm still learning. I'm constantly adding tools to my toolbox, and I'm sure you are. And this comes at a price. And don't be afraid to make an investment in yourself. You're worth it.
Absolutely. I've always had a number of coaches that I work with. So I do work as a mentor coach with others, but I'm always expanding my own knowledge, getting out of my own way, learning how to receive crystal clear guidance so that I'm delivering what's coming through me for you. So becoming a clear, hollow reed, a channel for the divine. And so, we're each in our step along on the Jacob's ladder as we raise our vibrational frequency. My job is to help you make the next step with ease and grace, right? Some of the steps that I've already done on the ladder doesn't mean I'm there. Certainly, I'm not enlightened. I'm not full body enlightened. Got quite a ways to go. But having been on the path, I can sort of help shine the light for those of you that are discovering the path or find that you're at a crossroads and don't know which way you want to go. And both of us do similar work. So, when you work with us in these free sessions, you get, double trouble, so to speak, a double whammy. So why not take advantage of it and learn how to work, whether you like to work with us and pay us some money to get behind the door and see what's going on inside of yourself.
Well, I'm always cognizant of something that Carl Jung used to say, in that, a little bit of wisdom, especially if it's not earned, can be a dangerous thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
And people really need to drink deep from the well, and the well of healing is a very, very deep one. And most of us have to go through hell to get to the other side. And a lot of people get stuck in the tube.
Yeah, absolutely. Into the birth canal, or they don't
Yeah.
arrive here. And that's really, that's really important to know the shadow work that Jung was talking about, that, that soul part of yourself that has been repressed because you don't want to deal with it is really where your spiritual gifts are. And you're really
yes.
that, right?
Yeah. And just because maybe it's my age, maybe, who knows, but I just know that this isn't a one trick pony, one shot and you're saved, one shower and you're cleansed. This is a process. And I would be very leery of paths that, purport to give you instant enlightenment, because I don't think I haven't seen that in my own life. It seems to be, it's a process.
Yeah, I think that I make a lot of potential clients really upset with me because when they come for an exorcism, they want me to use a silver bullet and clean it all up, and pack the entity off to the morgue or to the happy hunting ground or wherever you take entities and discarnate beings. I'm not sure where we ship them to, but maybe it's back to the light. But I don't do that, because if I do that, I'm interfering with your karma and you're not learning how to do it for yourself. So it's sort of like, I give everybody an eviction notice and clear everybody out of the house, and you don't lock the door and leave the windows open and wonder why you're repossessed or why everybody's building a campfire in the middle of your living room. So I need to teach you how to do it for yourself. So I know the same with you, Kory. We're here to help people become empowered in their own lives. We're not here to fix you, heal you, and tell you what to do. We're here to help you on the path to learn how to get your own clear guidance, your own wisdom, and stand in your own truth. At least that's what I'm all about.
Yeah, me too. And I couldn't realize that because I'm a Taurus and I tend to embody, my truth. And so everything for me is very physical, and I learn my lessons through very, sense-oriented ways of learning. And I kind of liken enlightenment to changing the way you eat, like going on a new food program. It's like, yeah, you can be told, and all the doctors and nutritionists can tell you what's best for you to eat, but you're the one that's feeding yourself, and you're the one that's got to keep on this day after day. Just because I've been given a new, nutritional, program, like, that's not going to change my life. I'm the one that has to implement it.
Yeah, it's like getting a deep clearing protocol and leaving it on your computer and not doing anything with it, thinking you're done.
Exactly. And I work with a lot of therapists. Trust me, I work with a lot of people who are out there healing and changing people's lives, and they're personally aware of how deep, the chaos goes and the healing goes, and they're constantly, taking their metaphorical, metaphysical showers every day. They have to keep up with maintenance.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's so true. I mean, you can't maintain because the energy on the planet is increasing so rapidly with, the alignments they're having planetary wise, and with the central galaxy and all the rest of these alignments, and, what's going on galactic wise, the energy is rising so quickly that you cannot leave that trauma, that core fracture, those toxic emotions buried much longer. You have to deal with it. There's no way. That's why there's so much chaos going on the planet right now, is you've got to make a choice. Are you going to clean up your own act, or you're going to check out? I know that's pretty tough way to put it, but that's basically what people are choosing. Do you want to do the deep work and move through it and find your own self-worth and your own value and your own sovereignty? Sovereignty is a big issue right now. Stop being one of the sheeple.
Do you know, Tyson, I challenge anyone to get off social media for an entire week and to clean their psychic space of all of this incoming garbage. Because once you do that, you have a clarity that is just, so it's better than taking a holiday. Because I agree, there's just so much negative psychic energy floating around the planet. And you can see that in the rise of all of the entertainment levels that people use as escape, tendencies, and the rise in alcoholism. Like, people are not dealing with their shadow. They're not dealing with, the crap in their life. And let me tell you, and again, I quote Jung, like, you cannot outrun the shadow. The shadow will always catches you. Always.
I love that picture of a little girl. I think she was about 3. Trying to run away from her shadow and trying everything she could, right? And that shadow, she just couldn't shake that shadow.
Yeah,
And
no,
real life, it's the same thing, right? That shadow's going to be with you no matter what. So you might as well deal with it.
well, but I think it's interesting using the shadow as a metaphor. When you're under the energy of high noon, like when you actually go outside and it's high noon and the sun is directly on the meridian above you, there is no shadow, right?
Absolutely. Been there, done that, had a full initiation.
Yeah. And so when you do have initiation and you really totally, it's kind of like you get burned up in that solar light.
Fire everywhere.
Yeah.
Well, we got a minute to go. So how do people work with you, Kory? Because obviously people should, after this call, get excited about saying, hey, well, what about my power days? Well, maybe I should know more about who I am and why I'm here and what I'm supposed to be doing anyway.
Well, thanks, Tyson. They just have to go to my website. It's my name, KoryVarlen.com. And I have a number of different types of sessions I take people through, and you just pick the one you want. And you can buy the Astral Inspiration decks there as well. So just go to my website, KoryVarlen.com. I also have a website called Cosmic, which is a really old one, KOSMICK, K at the front, K at the back. And you can choose any kind of session you want.
Oh, that's wonderful. And if you want to know what I'm up to, just go www.wellnessacademy.ca and choose a course. And if you want more information, use the same toll-free number that we've been using for these call-ins, 1-866-369-7464. Call me and ask me a question, and I will tell you no lies. All right, this is it. We're at the top of the hour. Thank you, everybody. We're back same time, same place next week. And until then, be healthy, wealthy, and wise. Bye for now.